Why wouldn't this?
It's only bipartisan because Democrats have conceded on every point that the Republicans have made on immigration. That's why it's bipartisan. I love that they're selling this as though it's bipartisan. It's literally just a Republican bill.
We're at a turning point in America. This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial? Well, if we don't aid Ukraine, Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war.
I can't believe this, dude. It's a Republican immigration bill with the Republicans yelling that the bill is weak, woke, and demand that migrants be blown to miss in the next one. No, but it's a Republican immigration bill. And this bill, the only reason why the Democrats are desperately pushing for it is because, one, they think they will look stronger on immigration, and two, which, by the way, will not work. It will not work. I cannot stress this enough. You can never out-racist the Republican Party. All you do in that situation is just make racism more prevalent. And then you look like a clown next election cycle when you go, well, sweetie, if you don't vote for us, the other side is going to kill immigrants. It's like, bro, you just voted to kill immigrants. You're on Morning Joe pushing for the kill immigrants bill. I'm not going to forget that. It's so close to the goddamn election cycle. You think I'm going to lose sight of that reality? Like, it's right here. It's in front of my face. These guys literally are like, oh, God. Oh, no. The fascists are coming. The fascists are coming. It's like, bitch, you're here. You're here. You're welcoming them with open arms. Fuck you, you monster. And the major reason why they're doing it is because they want to give money to Ukraine. But more importantly than Ukraine, they want to give money to Israel. They're like, let's pass the Guatemalan child murder bill here in America, which will feature the Palestinian child murder spending package associated with it. And then I have to sit here and act like they're the lesser evil, dog. Get the out of here.
And we could be fighting in Eastern Europe in a NATO ally in a few years. Americans won't like that. If we don't help Israel defend itself against Hamas, that perpetual war will go on and on and on. If we don't help humanitarian aid to the starving Palestinians in Gaza, hundreds of thousands could starve. And the border.
That's the grossest part about it, too, because it's like they're also like, hey, we're going to give Israel like $17 billion, but also we're going to give like a couple million to the Palestinian children that they're killing too. Sick, man. Why are you keeping them alive at that point? Just like, don't give them any money so that Israel can kill them faster? Like, what the Anyway, here's the National Immigrant Justice Center. It says, in short, the bill will violate the Refugee Convention by closing the border to people seeking safety. The centerpiece of provision of the bill requires the U.S. government to seal the border to people seeking asylum when the numbers of people arriving at the border reach a certain trigger number. This would force the United States to close its doors to countless people in need of asylum protection and send them back to harm. It exacerbates the humanitarian and operational challenges on the border, like the procedurally similar Title 42 policy. Expulsions and unpredictable border closures will create chaos and incentivize organized crime on the border. Refusing to process people so they may seek safety in the U.S. means that they're trapped, unable to return home, and vulnerable to kidnappings and violent crime by cartels and other armed groups. In this untenable situation, we're forced to try multiple times to re-enter the United States, exacerbating processing delays. As someone that lives in a border state, I wish we would just build affordable housing to get people out the streets. We don't need to kick them out. We just need to help them, making it hard to get here. Just make sure when they obviously still come regardless. Yep. The bill creates a rush new process for people seeking asylum, starting with a screening interview. Most will fail under newly heightened standards. People facing rush deportations under this new process will have no access to immigration judge, federal judge review, effectively guaranteeing wrongful deportations. We will also punish asylum seekers with imprisonment while enriching private prison companies. Hey, by the way, yeah, we have to get fatter contracts with private prison companies because guess what? We have all these immigration detention centers and they're all filled to the brim. Oh no, it'd be a real shame. Anyway.
Talk about Johnson. But Johnson doesn't have a huge majority in the House. It's only like a couple of votes. And our fellow Brooklynite, Hakeem Jeffries, has so far been able to deliver a lot of the Democrats. Even some progressives like you and I may have some questions. But it's the overall good. Can you etch out enough Republicans in the Senate and in the House, since you only need 4 or 5, given Johnson's not playing with a strong...
God, he's such a... This old bitch, dude. Shut the fuck up, Al, you dumb like, what do you mean? Oh, look at him. He's like, he's talking about this as though like it's established fact that this bill is good. No interest in doing even a fraction of a little bit of a crumb of journalism. It's so funny to think that Al Sharpton used to be like a pretty rugged black nationalist in this country in the 90s. Jesus Christ. It's pretty funny. Oh my God.
Hand here. Can you get enough to pass these bills when we're looking at cities being invaded, Democratic mayors, particularly black ones, being invaded, and you see cops
I'm sorry, what? How is this different than Fox News, man? We're watching fucking Fox News. Oh, God, this country is so goddamn fascist. We can't redeem this country. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This makes me sick. He's gross, dude.
It's being beat up in Times Square, and it should have a humanitarian migrant kind of situation here. But at the same time, we are looking.
How is this different? He's still a nationalist. Goes to show you black nationalism is nationalism reactionary. You think Al Sharpton is still a black nationalist? What are you, crazy? It should alarm you how little you understand Al Sharpton's politics, I guess, that it is indecipherable. You turned around and you're like, wow, man, black nationalism is really bad, actually, because like it makes you what? A regular run-of-the-mill liberal who says the exact same things that the Republicans say. Yeah, the only thing left in Al Sharpton is like, as far as any kind of like liberatory, emancipatory black nationalism, is that he's black and maybe a nationalist.
This level here.
It's broken. Everyone admits, left, right, center, the border's broken. So we can all sit in our corners and say, do it my way or no way, and get nothing done and let it continue to be broken. And by the way, it's going to be more broken next year than it is this year if we don't fix it, because you have all these gangs and other coyotes and others bringing even more innocent people who are just struggling for their lives across the border. So the question is, are we able?
Allah is going to take him, dude. It's in his throat. I do love that the Republicans literally kept saying, oh, you want to fund Ukraine to help Ukrainian border security against Russians, but you don't want to fund our border for like 4 years.
We've watched tens of billions of dollars be sent to defend another nation's border that is not our own. Yet the Biden administration and this Congress has not done anything to protect our nation's border and the American people.
And then the Democratic Party just looked at that and was like, we shouldn't even counter message against this. This is brilliant. This is a brilliant take. We should just adopt it as our position. Like, this was Marjorie Taylor Greene a year ago or 2 years ago. This was Marjorie Taylor Greene's like message on Ukraine. Why are we funding Ukrainian border security, but we can't fund our own border security in the South? And now it's like Chuck Schumer saying that same thing. That's crazy. Of course, when Chuck Schumer concedes on that and says we must fund the border and also Ukrainian borders, then Marjorie Taylor Greene goes, we must execute Mexicans on site. So next year, Chuck Schumer is going to turn around and go, we must execute Mexicans on site. I guess that's what we're doing. Is that the goal? That's the ratchet effect right there. Al Sharpton said the cities are being invaded, man. That's crazy. It's not even the ratchet effect anymore. It's just a call and response effect. It's actually, you're right. It is worse than the ratchet effect. I'll tell you why it's worse than the ratchet effect. Because the ratchet effect implies that like Republicans are pushing the boundaries and then the Democrats aren't able to like push back against it. There's a difference between the ratchet effect and what the Democrats are doing now. What the Democrats are doing now is like basically cutting the Republicans or trying to cut the Republicans out and outflanking them on right-wing It's so weird. What the fuck's going on, man? What are you guys doing? You guys are so stupid. Oh my God, you all deserve to lose. And you are going to lose. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. And Democrats are going to lose. And every single dumb liberal is going to come in here and be like, Hassan, you did this. Hassan, you did this. Why didn't you tell me that the Democratic Party's border proposal bill was actually good, even though it was identical to the Republican Party's border proposal? Hassan, you and the 20,000 leftists that still ended up probably voting for mostly Democrats, you guys did this. It's your fault. I will not look at my own stupid party and all of its dumb, idiotic policy ideas and bad politics. It must be the Bernie bros. The Biden border package is pretty much Stephen Miller's wet dream, just total fascist policy. Remember when people said that voting for Biden was harm reduction for immigration? Obama tried to cut Social Security Lamont. Thank God for the Tea Party caucus. Exactly. Thank God for the psychopathic Christian fascists that are like more interested in, voting in Trump, that the Democratic Party couldn't push this comprehensive immigration reform as like a bipartisan bill. And the way that it's being sold on television is making me want to video game myself in a very public way and putting Morning Joe as the sole reason on my note. Jesus Christ, dude. Morning Joe. Oh, Joe Biden loves watching Morning Joe. That's his favorite show. That's his Fox and Friends, right? It's not harm reduction if you literally look at the right-wing framing on immigration and go, no, we are the real guys who are going to be reactionary on immigration. You're at that point, you're not doing harm reduction. You're just like taking it on and doing the harm yourself. It's very stupid. Yesterday, we watched Al Sharpton and Chuck Schumer defend right-wing framing on the border policies. This is crazy, dude. What is this? Where business are closing? AI is taking